The thing that men seem to hate the most is that we are not as lonely as they are. Not even close. And even if women feel some sense of loneliness, it's not in the same way. Women are still mourning the fairy tale of what they thought men were. So they're off to the side, still working on themselves, still getting a degree, still starting their business, still raising their children, still building a community with other women. They're still doing something. They're going to therapy. They're reading self-help books. They're doing whatever they can. We're still not as lonely, quote unquote, as the men. Not in the same way, at least.
Bring back men who beg. Bring back men who beg. I'll go crazy.
You know what? Sure. I'll be the first person in line. The lover boy that I am, I'll be the first person in line to bring back begging, okay? As soon as y'all give us something to beg for. What are we begging for exactly? These men back in the day had something to beg these women for. So let me help you understand. Y'all out here giving up cooter for free. So we not begging for cooter. I mean, it's free. Why am I begging for what's free? 99. Why would we beg for love when y'all are giving love up to a whole bunch of men who don't deserve it? So your love is selective, but selective to the wrong dude. So why would I ever beg for that? Me being the good man, whatever you want to call it, y'all not giving it up to them. Y'all giving it up to the toxic dudes y'all know ain't worth nothing. So we not begging for something we know we not finna get in the first place. And then your attention is worth a free meal, right? Like y'all giving up your attention for a free meal. Yuck. So we not begging for your love, right? We not begging for cooter, right? And we not begging for attention, right? 3 things that we would beg for, you have completely diminished in the market. Okay, so what are we begging for? Women with kids and trauma? Like, I'll be the first one in line to beg. Bro, you don't understand. I love buying flowers. I would love to stand outside of a shorty window with a boombox. Love to pick shorty up and step over puddles for her. You know, all that type of stuff. But if I pull over with a bouquet of flowers, the boombox, the whatever your favorite stuff on whatever, and you getting thrashed by some toxic dude because he's exciting? I'm not doing that.
I had a guy over just to cuddle. Like, I was like, hey, want to come over and only cuddle? And for some reason he agreed to this. I was like, you're getting nothing else. I just want to be held. And I have to say, it was like the best sleepover ever.
Ladies, trust me when I tell you that men get just as much out of this as you do. They love to cuddle because most men absolutely love physical touch. They need that to feel loved. And that does not just include being intimate with you. I bet you anything this man had some of the greatest sleep of his life.
Women who attract men who treat them like a queen do one thing different from women who entertain situationships. And what I'm about to say might sting, but if you want to attract a healthy, committed relationship, you need to hear this. Women who want more than anything to be in a relationship, yet they end up getting in situationships and casual dating dynamics that never go anywhere. A big reason this happens is because this woman has a greater fear of being alone than being with the wrong person. When you are alone and you are single, you become energetically available to meet the right person who is ready for what you're ready for. When you are in a casual dynamic, it is a lot harder to meet somebody else who is ready for that next step because so much of your emotional, mental, even physical energy is going towards that person who you're casual with. Women who attract men who treat her like a queen and happily get into a relationship with her, happily take her off the market, a big thing that draws these type of men to her is he can tell, oh, she's not afraid to be alone. She's more afraid of being with a man who's not meeting her standards. So I want to rise up and meet those standards. There is something very magnetic about being in an energy of not needing, of being in an energy of I'm willing to pass up on the cheaper version of what I want. I'm willing to pass up on the thing that only checks a couple boxes and wait and stay open and available for the full package because I know that's what I deserve. When you are willing to take that brave step to release what's not serving you and have the space for the right person to come in that always ends up getting rewarded. If you're ready to attract your dream relationship, what can you stop entertaining today so you can create space for what you ultimately want? And if you want deeper support with attracting a healthy relationship and becoming more secure in the process, I highly recommend diving into my program, Securely Chosen. You can get instant access to Securely Chosen at the top of my page.
A lot of men and women have been ducking this conversation, but it's time that we just go ahead and just have it. So go ahead and check this out and then comment below.
If a man should provide, protect, and lead, what should a woman do? Because I hear this list every single day. Provide, protect, lead. And I agree with it. A man should absolutely do those things. But every time I ask the other question, the room goes quiet. It's like it's offensive to even bring it up. We've created a culture where a man's role has a job description, but a woman's role is just be yourself. That's not how relationships work. If one person has expectations and the other one has options, that's not a relationship. That's an audition where only one person is truly performing. And I'm not saying a woman should serve like a servant. That's not what this is. I'm saying if you expect a man to lead, you got to be willing to follow. If you expect him to provide, you got to be willing to build an environment worth providing for. If you expect him to protect, you got to be willing to not put him in positions where he has to protect you from yourself. In a relationship, both sides has terms. And somewhere along the way, we started holding men accountable to their side of the deal while telling women their side is optional. That's not equality. That's entitlement with the filter on. Good man does not want a woman who does nothing. He wants a woman who matches his effort in her own lane. He leads, she nurtures. He provides, she manages. He protects, she respects. That's not old-fashioned. That's functional.
God did not give you a wife so that you can rule over her, but so that she can stand beside you. Men and women can be taken advantage of. If a woman's dealing with a man who's only looking to be served, she can be taken advantage of. If a man's dealing with a woman who's only looking to be provided for. This might look different for every relationship, but I would say the majority of us have something in agreement. So let's just have a discussion down below. What do you think?
Equal treatment for women.
Equal treatment for women, except we're getting charged with a crime.
What?
Well, men generally get harsher prison sentences than women. That's not fair.
Okay. Equal treatment for women, except we're getting charged with a crime.
And when playing sports and fighting. Well, men and women shouldn't play sports together because men are physically stronger than women. It's not fair. It's not fair. Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So, equal treatment for women, except we're getting charged with a crime and playing sports and fighting.
And paying for dinners and buying drinks and getting drafted into the military and doing dirty jobs. Come on. Okay, guys, I got a better idea. Let me just 1 second.
Treat us like women. Treat us like women. Treat us like women.
So how did I deserve to die for the crime of the man who my mother?
Speechless. How did you deserve to die? You were right there. I'm confused.
That's because the law protected me. I was born exactly 3.5 years to the date of Roe v. Wade. My birth mother went to 2 illegal and I was almost, but she backed out because of the law and fear for her own safety. She told me if it had been legal, she absolutely would have aborted me. And 6 years later, she changed her mind about like many women do. But I literally owe my birth to the law, which protected me. So I'm asking you, how did I deserve to die for the crime of the man who was my mother?
Well, at that point in time, you were still, in your mother's belly, and she had all control over you because you're a part of her body. And if she wanted you removed, that's her choice. I'm glad that you're here today. You survived. Congratulations. But it's still her choice. And it doesn't matter about if there was a law there to save you. If she wanted to, she could have. And that's it.
So I value you as a person, and I can tell you I'm so glad you're here, honestly, and I'm so glad you're alive. I'm so glad you were born. But what I'm hearing you say is that if you had your way, I'd be right now. Because my birth mother's choice, her choice was to kill me. And the law protected me. And the question is, did I deserve the protection I received?
Fuck yeah.
Thank you. It's okay. You can take your time.
I've been in drinks. I can too.
Once again, modern women keep on doing this bull crap. We ain't lonely, and if we are lonely, we ain't as lonely as men are. You know, because we're doing the work on the side and we're going to therapy. It don't matter. We already know that you're lonely. It's okay to say that you're lonely. It's okay to say that you want a man. That's what's getting y'all in trouble. Y'all keep on going around here talking all of this nonsense. I'm doing okay. It's my year. It might be your year. I made a lot of money this year. You might have made a lot of money. You might have gotten your dream house or your dream car and done all that stuff. Still lonely. Still lonely. There's a lot of professional athletes, men and women, that say, man, I got all these people around me. I got all this money and I'm still lonely. Why is that? Because I don't feel like there's anybody that's close to me that actually knows me. I don't feel like I can talk to somebody on a daily basis that I can really, truly, deeply connect with. Y'all talk about men aren't in touch and can't get in touch with their emotions. You need to be talking about yourself.
On today's episode of the Male Loneliness Epidemic, I present to you this post from Realtor.com. Single women are buying more homes than single men. Let's see the comments. Need a home because most rentals don't allow cats. Repeal the 19th. They can have all the houses they want, and I promise you most of them will never be happy because nothing would ever satisfy most women, singular. Yeah, I can see why you think that. Oh, paying well, I see. Ladies, it's not a flex that you bought a house on your own without a man and without divorcing. Men are not attracted to that. What you should have done when your market value is at its absolute highest between the ages of 18 and 24, find a high status, high value man to take you seriously and to allow you to birth his children. That's what you should have done. You can cope all you want by not having a husband or kids, but you know dang well that you would be much happier if you had those things.
Feminists have created a new term called pink pill content, and no, it's not what you think. I think everybody pretty much knows where the red pill concept means and where it originally came from. If you don't know where it came from the movie The Matrix. From a scene where Morpheus offered two options, either take the blue pill for illusion and complacency, or take the red pill for truth and freedom. But somehow, NPCs took the red pill concept and twisted it to look like a movement where men hate on women and completely ignored what it was actually supposed to mean. So now feminists have made their own version and they called it the pink pill. And if we're being honest, pink pill content is just a rebranded version of taking the blue pill so women can have an excuse to hate on men and have illusion and complacency comfortably, just like they said in The Matrix. But here's what gets me. We live in a culture that celebrates women hating on men and calling it empowerment, but villainizes the red pillar people that actually are chasing the truth. And the fact that so many women choose the pink pill over the truth tells you everything. Most women these days don't really want freedom. They prefer victimhood. They want the comfort. They want their ego massaged, and they want to be told that they're right so they never have to grow. So ladies, be the person who takes the red pill every single time, because the pink pill is just a drug that is designed to strip you of your feminine potential.
Bravo, absolutely smart, king move. I can go on and on because it's almost as if men can have standards and they can actually have a problem with something that a woman might be doing in her life. And by the way, why did you leave him to figure that out? That should be something that is outwardly given as information, because you should assume that most men would absolutely have a problem with this. Am I right, guys?
Men believe that women are secretly competing for their attention. This is a coping mechanism. Male attention is low value and relentless. Before we go out, we talk cues, we talk exits, we plan interruptions. There's a look that women exchange when something feels off. A man could never be privy to this, as he would have to admit that he was an aggressor. that he was unwanted. Even the so-called fridge would want this interaction. It would be unintelligent to assume that she was jealous for intervening on a dangerous situation. This may not be reflected in your Wattpad fantasy, but this is female solidarity.
Are there women out there who say they hate men? Of course. But those
why?
women, but why? Why do they hate men, number one? And number two, is your life threatened? Are those women harming you? The answer is no. They just want you to leave them alone, and they're going to leave you alone. Like, literally.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. You can't claim that that's misandry. You know, guys will talk about their crazy ex-girlfriend almost as if it was someone that they had to, like, run for their life and, like, escape the clutches of. And the whole time it'll just be, like, a woman that they lied to and gaslit who's having an appropriate reaction. And
Every
it's like,
time.
if women were out here doing the same to you that y'all do to women, women would have to prove their way out of jail.
Absolutely.
All women would have to prove their way out of jail. If we ever, even for one day, for 24 hours, reached equality with men as far as statistics and things like that, it would be over for us the next day.
If a woman has the attitude, what do I need men for? My assignment is answer that question. So what do I need men for? I've done a lot of informal surveys. I'd ask the women, think about how many women that you know are for you. They're your friends. How many women does it take to make you feel as safe as one man you know is for you? And I watch them and they're thinking and thinking and thinking. And then they start to shake their heads. There is no number of women that makes a woman feel as safe as one man that she knows is for her. If a woman is leading with sexuality and bringing out take energy in men, they're either scary or she's sure she can manipulate them, but she's still not going to feel safe. Where if he's charmed and enchanted by her, which causes a man to care, you guys closely guard caring. Something else I learned from men, you know it's your biggest expenditure of energy. And it has this paradox. Women think men are simple. Men even say men are simple. No. Not caring can feel like freedom, but not caring can turn into, I have no purpose. My life is shit. It's not for anything. Right? And then men have said, when a woman needs something from me, I have a purpose.
There is no reason for a man to behave like a gentleman with a... That's kind of the whole selling point. That would be ridiculous at best and wasteful and dangerous at worst. So that's the answer to the question that began this series. Where are all the gentlemen? They disappeared when the lady went extinct. And it wasn't men who her. Women have proudly fought tooth and nail to escape the social restrictions that define that identity over the past 60 years. So what's the problem? Well, the problem is that modern women want the best of both worlds. They want the social freedom of the and the respectability of the lady. And that just doesn't make sense. Like, one person can't be both a lady and a at the same time. If these designations are to have any meaning whatsoever, they need to be grounded in objective phenomena. And while it's always kind of easy for a lady to become a... It's very, very difficult for a to become a lady. It is possible, like the Empress Wu, who started out as a concubine in Chinese history, but it is much more difficult than the opposite. So let's be real. The standard template for women's behavior in the marketplace today is to engage in casual sex without commitment through their 20s and then settle down into marriage around 30. That is, they want to enjoy the social freedom of a for 10 to 15 years, and then they want the respectability of a lady for the rest of their lives. And unfortunately, that doesn't make sense to men. In fact, this is exacerbated even further by recent dating trends. The rise of soft life girls and women who say reject coffee dates and expect greater effort from men drive this point home. These women do not complain that men are expected without marriage. They complain that men are being stingy with their resources. Does this sound like a lady who is upset she is being treated like a or like a who is clamoring for a raise?
Yo, this is the Pimps and Simps show, where we peel back the IG filters, dodge the thirst traps, and tell it like it really is.
What happened with Craig?
It's Craig Long we arrested. He's 41. Some of you may recognize him. He's an influencer. He also owns Craig Long Fitness in Tampa. He was seeking the services of a... Did I tell you that he's married? He was a previous felon who straightened up. Really what we want to see in life. Now he's an influencer. You know, he moves in big circles, even with president.
Ace, you know what you and I's what you and I's issue is. Whatever that issue is.
I unfollow you. Ain't no fucking issue.
Cause you's a clown. You's a clown.
If you unfollow me, I wouldn't ask you a motherfucking thing. I wouldn't give a.
So what happened, Ace? Where did this come from?
That boy there, he been hounding me about a follow or unfollow since August. There's no way in the world I thought he was still on that. Since August. I've been having this dude in my DM, my comments. I didn't block him until like November.
What was it about his content? Because y'all did follow each other before. So what was it about his content? Was he making more like pro-Israel content? Was he making more like, what was it?
Yeah, it's the natural shucking and jiving. I just got paid. Let me go ahead and put my out there. You heard me? Like it was that. He was on the same level as Officer Tatum, and I unfollow Officer Tatum too. I don't want to hear none of that coon, and it ain't got nothing to do with America. It ain't got nothing to do with black folks. It ain't got nothing to do with white folks. People that stay over here, and you telling us no, put us on the back burner so we can focus on Israel. Man, what?
And I'm not saying that, you know, men are right for saying some of the things that they say in these posts, but I do want to take time out to highlight that, you know, I think a lot of these modern women, they get online and they be making fun of the men, that be in their comments, oh man, he's butthurt, he's crashing out. Yeah, okay, don't do that, right? But I think, you know, these are the exact guys that you're going to be getting on the train or the subway talking about, where are the men at? He's not giving me his seat. What happened to the men that were, what happened to the gentleman? You're going to be looking at that man in the face, because that's a normal, everyday, average man. And he's not going to be giving you the time of day. Oh, where are the guys that, you know, what happened to all of the men that will hold the door open for a woman, or all of the men that will be chivalrous and kind? You just got through making fun of those guys. Y'all don't think you are, but you're actually ruining you're ruining yourself.
The reason a lot of men ghost women is because women don't just make it easy for you to break up with them either. You see what I'm saying? Sure.
This is about to be toxic because...
Gladly. So, again, it done been plenty of men. These women in the audience, these beautiful women in the audience that been dating. And he done sat her down and said, look, baby, you deserve better than me. You do. You know what I'm saying? You can do so much better than me. I'm not the man you need me to be right now. And I think that you should go out there and try to find somebody that's a bit more compatible for you. And that woman will look that man in the eyes and say, you can't tell me what I deserve. Right? So a lot of men feel like we got to give a damn PowerPoint presentation to get out of the relationship, and to avoid that, they'll just go show us. Again, I'm not validating the behavior. I'm just giving perspective.
Let's talk about red pill rage. Look, I understand where it comes from. You thought for the longest time that if you treated women nicely, they would love you unconditionally. You thought if you gave them everything they ever wanted, it would be yours forever. And you may have even thought that your own masculinity was toxic for a second there. But now you've learned the truth. Nice guys really do finish last. Women are very conditional with how they love you. Your masculinity is not toxic. And that the worst of femininity can be just as toxic as the worst of masculinity. Now you're angry. You've been lied to. You feel betrayed. And I get it. Betrayal is tough to get past. But guess what? you shouldn't be angry. You should be happy because now you know the truth. Now you know what women actually want. Now you know how to be a man worthy of female desire. And now you know how to protect yourself from the true dangers that exist in relationships between men and women. So drop the anger, forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made, and stop attacking the other side the same way that they attacked you. Remember, a hero and a villain have the same painful backstory, but one uses it for good and the other uses it for evil. So continue to speak up to make sure young men and women do not suffer the same way you did, and not because you have disdain for your opponents.
The first thing that women need to forgive their husbands for is being a man.
Probably the first thing women need to forgive their husbands for is for being men. The problem is that women want strong men who are good providers and at the same time expect them to be like a girlfriend that they can always vent about a problem with. Men don't want to talk about problems. They want to solve them. Women want their man to be emotionally available. In other words, they want to turn him into a woman. It's as if some women want their man to have the characteristics of a woman without losing their masculinity. There will always be a power struggle between men and women. Only when women enjoy the strengths that they have that men don't, and enjoy the strengths that men have that they as women don't, will they be happier people and able to live in peace and harmony.
All women are open to other men who she believes would be a better choice. All women are always looking at all times. Just like your phone is always scanning for a Wi-Fi signal, women are always scanning. Always. 100%. Doesn't matter if this past Wednesday she gave you a Valentine's Day card, made you a steak, gave you a beach. Doesn't matter. She could break up with you today. And you're going to say, well, but just 2 days ago we had Valentine's Day and I took you away for a weekend last weekend to a bed and breakfast. Like the wind, man. Like the wind and the weather. Scanning like Wi-Fi for a better signal. Every last one. Put the mechanisms in place where you are not shell-shocked and broadsided and blindsided.
Women say they want a provider. What they're really asking for is a way out of the life they're not handling, out of the decisions they regret, out of the situation they created but don't want to fix themselves. Look at who's actually saying it. Show me one woman online talking about needing a provider, and I'll show you someone whose life is barely held together. The car is a mess, finances are a disaster, no plan, no direction, just hoping some man shows up and solves it all for her. That's not looking for partnership. That's looking for a bailout, sister. And too many men fall for it. They see a woman struggling and think they're supposed to step in and save her. Like it's their job to rescue someone who won't even rescue themselves. You want me to provide for you? Fine. What are you bringing to this that makes it worth my investment? Because right now, it just looks like you need someone to fund a life you can't afford on your own. That's not a relationship again. That's a charity with benefits. And the worst part, a lot of these women genuinely believe they're offering something valuable just by existing, just by breathing. Like showing up is enough. Like needing help is the same as deserving it. It's not. If your whole pitch is take care of me, you're not looking for a man. You're looking for a father. And most men are too blind to see the difference until they're already paying for it. Peace out, pumpkins.
The thing that we forget about his entire platform was that the starting context of the conversation was women who essentially said that a good 80 to 90% of men didn't qualify for them. These weren't just average women who were looking for average men or just a nice, comfortable, average life. No, these are women who were specifically wanting top-tier, high-earning, attractive men with social status, with connections, with resources, retirement, IRAs, 401ks, all that. So the context of the conversation is basically women saying, hey, most men don't qualify for me. That is the starting conversation. So women are making it seem like he's just going out and just, was making fun of all these women and just saying all these disparaging things. And it's like, that's not true. This conversation wasn't about an average woman trying to find an average man and just live a nice, happy life. It wasn't that. It was women who wanted the best man, the most competitive men out there. So if a woman comes in and says, oh, I am basically better than 95% of men in the human population, if that's essentially what she's saying, then him going and just giving an accurate assessment is not misogynoir, it's not disrespectful, It's him being practical. And so that's what I feel like a lot of people took what he said out of context. They didn't understand where he was coming from, and they completely overlooked the context of the conversation. Context is everything.
Can you think of a single time ever in history where women have collectivized and used force to take anything from men?
Not force.
And so if that's the case and men have a monopoly on force, you're always going to have to appeal to them to not use it on you. Because here's the dirty truth, and it's brutal, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to lie to you. I know that if men collectivize in the West and decide to put women in little cages, there's not a they can do about it. So they really have to appeal to the benevolence of men, and all they do is demonize them, and that's crazy to me.
So I mean, again, like when I mentioned earlier how that kind of justifies like any tyrannical invading force, do you think there's
not a justification, it's a descriptive.
The less powerful party in that situation should just appease to the oppressor or the invading force?
The thing is that, let me ask you this. If you have somebody who's larger than you are and can beat you up, do you talk to them?
No, not necessarily.
Why not?
So they don't beat me up.
They don't beat you up, right?
But there should still be some kind of...
Hang on. Is that a form of appeasement?
Well, I just distance myself from this person.
So it's not a form of appeasement?
But a third party
Hang on.
witnessing...
Answer the question I asked first. Is it a form of appeasement when someone's much larger than you, so you don't talk to them because you don't want to get beat up? Is that appeasing?
I mean, you're not really doing anything in that
Right.
situation.
It's not appeasement then. So when we're talking about this, it's not appeasement either.
I've said it once before, and I will always say it to the day I die. Women are always supposed to be the dominant force on this planet. It is embedded in our DNA. It is quite literally coded in us because of the eggs that we possess. I don't know if you know this or not, but the egg is the single largest cell in the human body. The egg decides which sperm gets to procreate. The egg decides it all. Domination starts with us. Domination as a woman is the true natural order in this world. So when patriarchy was, I guess, introduced into society, a lot of women, what happened, unfortunately, they followed suit. And that's why we have all of this imbalance in the world that we have today because of patriarchy. I am so happy that I keep coming across creators on here who are finally waking up to the fact that women have and always will be sovereign. We are the true natural leaders. We are the true natural dominant women features of this entire organization we call planet Earth. Male domination is not natural. It never has been. It never will be. That's why they have to force it on us. That's why they had to create laws. That's why they had to create religions to put women in their perceived places because they don't like being put in a position that is of submission. For some reason, men forgot that that is their natural position. They forgot that that is the natural order of things.
Honey, you are freaking deluded.
For so many years, the rhetoric was all these women are going to end up alone. There's never been so many women that are unmarried without children. And I think this takes back the narrative of like, look at these lives that women are building and look how much happier you can be single than with somebody that is dragging you down and draining your resources.
This idea of unmarried, alone, single, childless women, full of their career, being happy. This is the story I always tell about that, 40-year-old woman who lives in a place like New York City and has the really nice apartment and has the really good job. And, everyone, all of these young women look at her and say, oh, she's got it all. She didn't need a man and she didn't need kids. And inside that woman is rotten.
What people like to do is talk about men in a specific way. Things like red pill rage. It's not really red pill rage. It's something that anybody would be upset about. If I'm going around here, people say that I'm a threat, but a lot of men are going out of their way to avoid women just so they'll feel safe. If you're walking on a sidewalk, there was one guy talking about it, and I've actually done this myself. We're going the same way. Could be late at night, could be early in the morning. It really doesn't matter. We're going the same way, and I hold up for a minute or two and let them walk in so they won't feel like I'm following them. Or it might be, I'm walking towards somebody. I might be walking out of the store. She's walking into the store. I make a beeline to my car to make sure that I'm out of her pathway so she won't think that I'm trying to, get on her or whatever and whatnot. A lot of men do that, right? And so if I'm taking, you say we don't care about women and we don't pay attention to what women are saying, then the man goes out and does that. And then you go out and say a man's not doing it. Then you don't give a man credit for anything. Then you call that very same man that's been trying to listen to you and help you out dangerous. It's not really rage, it might be frustration.
Most women aren't ready for the responsibility that comes with a stable man, because stability doesn't feed your need for emotional roller coasters. It doesn't scratch that itch for unpredictable validation. For women raised in dysfunction, peace feels boring until you lose it. A good man requires partnership, respect, and a woman who's emotionally regulated, not reactive, not reckless. Stay solid. Good men don't bend, they build. And the right woman rises to meet him.
Oh, I think this woman read my book. Wow. This is exactly why I tell men always stay in your frame. Because what she's saying is if you stay within your frame, you set your boundaries and you don't tolerate any from your woman, regardless how emotional she gets on her roller coaster, you just stay solid. It's my rules. This is what I'm sticking to. You either like it, stay, or if you don't like it, there's the door. Those are the only two choices you get. She knows that, hey, I have a good man. He's a solid man. I'm going to stop testing him. The more a man stays in his frame, that's what she's describing. Frame, as long as he stays in his frame and she has to come in and live within his frame, she will stay. The man who keeps moving with her emotion shows the woman that this man is not stable. He's not strong enough to hold me within his frame. The second I push, the frame starts to wobble, it starts to break. And every time he gives me my way, he collapses. That is not a strong man. She don't respect that man. She cannot respect that man.
When feminists say they don't need men, you ready for this? When feminists say they don't need men, 96% of construction workers are men. 95% of electricians are men. 95% of plumbers are men. 98% of carpenters are men. 94% of HVAC technicians are men. 97% of mechanics are men. 96% of welders are men. 91% of truck drivers are men. And we know what the other 90%
Damn right, Marge.
Yeah.
Large
97% of roofers are men. 95% of oil rig workers are men. 90% of machine operators are men. 85% of network engineers are men. 91% of mechanical engineers are men. 86% of civil engineers are men. 96% of firefighters are men. 85% of police officers are men. 80% of military personnel are men. 90% of pilots are men. 94% of train operators are men. 92% of forklift operators are men.
Wow.
These are some of the riskiest jobs in the world.
Statement here, women deserve less.
Yes.
What substantiates that conclusion?
Because women are incredibly entitled, rude, narcissistic, solipsistic, have huge egos.
Okay, so let's zero in on that one point. You said entitled. How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, I think any heterosexual guy here will agree with me that dating women.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Well-
What's your reasoning?
So you want my anecdotal answer?
No, I don't. I'm talking about logic. Like, what's your reasoning? This doesn't include.
Okay, I mean, I can draw from many
necessarily.
different pools, but in general, I've talked to over 4,000 women.
No. This isn't. I'm trying to get what science substantiates that claim, that support the claim that women are entitled, and then therefore it necessarily follows that women deserve less.
Women are opportunistic maters.
Okay. Now you're doing something different. We started off with women are entitled, and now you're saying opportunistic maters. Let's focus on one at a time.
I keep seeing all these women claim that men are suspect because allegedly these men want to be chased when really all they want is reciprocity. A lot of men want to be wanted. They want to feel needed. I don't understand what the problem is with showing them that you're interested in them too. You want your hair done and your nails done and your bills paid, but you can't even do something as simple as sending him $15 or $20 for lunch. Boo-boo, that's not going to work. If you don't get anything else from this message, just listen to this one word, reciprocity. If you don't know what it means, then look it up. We really got to stop making some of these men pay for other men's mistakes. There are some amazing men out here that are going to be everything that you need, but it's going to require some reciprocity. I'm about to go find me one right now. I see y'all later, TikTok.
Now look at the difference between these two women.
For better,
For better,
for worse,
for worse,
for richer,
for richer,
for poor.
or poorer.
We hit that snag about 20 times in counseling. Brill made it very clear to Jonathan, you cannot be broke. In sickness. And in health. To love. Cherish. And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
I'll forever submit to you, Miles. I'll forever respect you, Miles.
Unpopular opinion. Men should also be taught to not accept the bare minimum from women just because they're women. A lot of men are taught to overgive, to overprovide, to overperform, to overprotect, to tolerate emotional neglect just to keep their relationship. Meanwhile, their needs are treated as if they're optional, but men deserve effort too, baby. They deserve communication too. They deserve consistency, reassurance, respect, reciprocation, peace. Stop teaching men to accept struggle as love. A relationship should not feel one-sided just because he's the man. If a woman can recognize a man's efforts, then men should be able to learn to recognize a woman's efforts and to know whenever they're being underloved. And when it's time to move around, because you deserve better than that, King.
1,000 singles coming to a singles event is crazy. Y'all gotta check this out.
I was just sitting here thinking about how I went to singles night at church, and it was hundreds. I mean, at least 1,000. First, I thought it was 500, but the pastor said it was 1,000 singles in attendance. Like, are we all living the same life at this point? Because I've never been in a room with that many single people, even thought that it was even, I thought I was like the only one left. I mean, beautiful women, all types, shapes and sizes, literally African-American women. Like, a room full of singles. And I'm like, this has to be an experiment. Like, this has to be like a simulation. Or is that the word I want to use? I think so. Like, I'm confused and I'm like low key, like nervous, like for us. Well, shit for myself, fuck y'all. Because where are the men? Where are the men? Then again, don't know. Never mind. Don't. We know where they at. Bye.
Look here, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you women I told you so, but I will let Craig say it.
Told you. I told you. I told you. You ain't tell me.
Because this is what I keep talking about and other men are talking about. What did you think was supposed to happen? And the path that these women are on, it ain't gonna get any better. It's just not. And the sad part is there's probably some good women up in that room who has no chance of meeting a man because the men don't want to come to those events because of all the bad women. I just did a video talking about how women are out here asking where are the men, but men are not asking where are the women. How come women don't come to these single events? You never see that because it's not an issue for men. That is a woman problem. Now, when the lady said she was worried for us, I'm looking around like, who's us? Because this is not something men are worried about. I know you women don't believe it, but men are just not pressed about this like y'all are. And I know there's a bunch of women out there who could care less about any of this, but there are a bunch of women like those 1,000 women that was in that room. Well, my bad. She said it was 1,000 singles in that room. There was a couple of dudes in there. So let's say out of the 980 women in there, they care about it. And it sucks for them because a lot of those women don't deserve to be in that situation, but this is a situation that they're going to be in. I know a lot of women think I hate women because a lot of stuff I talk about is negative towards women, but I really am trying to help you. When I come on here and show you the negative stuff and then talk about how to make it better, I'm not doing it because I hate you. I'm doing it because I want to see y'all do better. But I'd rather keep listening to those panderers who keep lying to you, and this is exactly why you're going to keep seeing events like that. And just to be clear, this isn't just a black thing. Men are not really attending these single events within any race. Men in general don't really want to be bothered with a lot of the women that are out there. And it's so crazy to me because a woman would come on here and make a video like this and talk about how there were no men, where are the men? She's getting worried, but then these same women would turn around and say they are the prize. Well, there were a lot of unclaimed prizes in that room. That's all I'm saying. But none of that is going to matter. You still see them walking around saying men should work to get them. Men should fight to get them. If men are not even showing up to see you, what makes you think these men are going to want to go out there and fight for you? Wake up and step into 2026. Things are different. Again, I'm not telling y'all to go chase men, but y'all got to get off this pedestal and realize that y'all got to go out there and work just like the men have to work for us to make this thing happen. And even though you backed off the question at the end, you did ask a question. You said, where are the men? I think my boys from the woods said it best.
Back it. Hey, yeah. Back it. Hey, yeah.
But anyway, leave your thoughts in the...
So I guess there was a woman making an argument that women are the ultimate leaders. Men are like, well, patriarchy is unnatural. Women are the ultimate leaders because the egg is the biggest organ or whatever cell in the body. You know, men were meant to serve while women are meant to lead, and you know, because of the egg, and basically the sperm goes in there, and you know, the egg gets to choose which one is this, and this. I guess my question would be, what does it matter if you have nobody to choose? You know what I mean? What are you dominating if there's nobody that is coming to procreate with you? You know what I mean? Number one. Number two, how are you dominant if only bums are interested in you? What type of value do you have if the sperm that's, you know, you guys want high value men, right? But the high value men are not choosing you guys. That's why you're saying you want to stay single, because you can't find a guy that's going to treat you right, that makes enough money, that, you know, has his own stuff, that can really take care of you and make you feel safe and secure, that can put you in your feminine. Why are your eggs not attracting guys like that? Is, I guess, the question I would have. Why do your eggs keep on attracting bums and baby daddies? I guess that's my question.